Hi Tubies, here's Alexandra again, and welcome to my next video. Today I want to talk about a thing where you also might use miniatures from your miniature wargaming games like Warhammer, Kings of War, or what have you. And those are pen and paper role-playing games. And today I want to introduce you to my absolute favorite role-playing game in that genre. Normally in America the top-selling RPG is Dungeons and Dragons, and followed by Pathfinder, D20 clone of Dungeons and Dragons. So, and here in Germany we have also a very famous clone of a D20 game. It's DSA, or Das Schwarze Auge in German. It would translate to the Black Eye in English. Well, I personally absolutely don't like D20 role systems. I have played quite a lot of role-playing games in my years, and like for example Shadowrun, Vampire the Masquerade, Rollmaster, and all sorts of things, Savage Worlds. And those systems all use different dice systems. For example, in Vampire the Masquerade, you have a system where you roll d10s. For each point in your skills, you get one d10, and you have to roll several successes in order to achieve your goal. For example, the game master says the success rate is 6 and you need at least 3 successes, and so you roll your 7 d10s, and if you fulfill the requirement, then you have made the roll. In Shadowrun there's almost an exact same method. You roll d6s instead of d10s. Then in Rollmaster you roll a d100, a percentage roll. So for example, your game master says the success rate is 80%, and you roll with your d100 70, and maybe you have plus 10% on your combat skill, and so you get 80, and so you hit. Those are very nice rolling systems, but actually my absolutely favorite dice rolling system comes from this here, Earthdawn. This is a very old role-playing game. It was developed in the year, let me see, table of content, copyright by Faza at 1993. So this is quite an old book here. This is the first edition of Earthdawn. Right now Earthdawn is in the 4th edition and is owned by 2 companies at the same time. So for America you have, I believe, Red Brick was the developer for the newest edition for Earthdawn, and in Germany I guess Ulysses Games is the new, Ulysses Spiele in Germany would be the developer for this part. Well, what is Earthdawn compared to Dungeons and Dragons? Well, where your Dungeons and Dragons is your generic fantasy adventure. Like Lord of the Rings, you have elves and dwarves and high fantasy concept, and well, the difference in Earthdawn is, let me describe it with a few words. It is like Conan the Barbarian or Red Sonja meets Fallout. That is the setting for Earthdawn. Earthdawn is also a fantasy world, but more in a barbaric age, so Bronze Age or something like that. So you see here on the cover they have very primitive armor sets. We can also go a little bit here through the drawings and paintings like that. you have here a very interesting art style in this book. I don't know how the art style is in the newest editions, but this here's very interesting art style, in my opinion. And here we have the cover art again. A little bit to get you into the mood. So, let me explain a little bit deeper the meaning of Earthdawn. First of all, let's have a look at the character sheet. The character sheet here looks like a generic fantasy character sheet, also like in Dungeons and Dragons. You have here your attributes like dexterity, strength, toughness, perception, willpower, and charisma. You have your body resistances like body resistance, magic resistant, and social resistance. Those give you the minimum dice roll to hit your character. You have your armor and magic armor, and here you got your talents. And here is this little line here. This shows you what dice you roll at a predetermined step in your attributes. So in Dungeons and Dragons, you have or in Pathfinder, you roll a d20 and then you add your modifiers. For example, you get +2 on your sword skill, and then plus this and that for the situation, and plus this and that, and minus this and that, and it is very confusing, and it is a lot of math involved. Here you have your predetermined stat skills, your numbers, and you pick up the dice that correspond with that. Let's see the table. Here you have the table, for example. In Coalition, it starts with a 1 die 4 -1 at attributes step of 1, and it goes to here attribute 30 would be 1d10 plus 1d8, and this is a system that is ever evolving. 1d4, 1d6, 1d8, 1d10, d12, 2d6, 1d8 plus d6, then 1d10 plus d6, and then it would go even higher. You see, we were at 1d10 plus 1d6, then 1d10 plus d8, d10, d10, d12, d10, d20, d4, d20, d6, d8, d10, d12, 2d6, and so on. So in this gaming system, your dice rolls won't be determined by one single dice. Maybe in the early game, but if you reach a skill level at 8 and higher, your skills are determined by multiple dice rolls. And this is something that is for me much more engaging and much better, in my opinion. So let's again talk a little bit about the background story of Earthdawn. In Earthdawn, the fantasy society is very magically inclined. You are playing a so-called adept. Adepts are people that have a very specific world view, and through this world view they are able to cast magic. Even your standard warrior is casting magic through his belief system, and so he generates his powers. His prowess in combat are magically enhanced. So his strikes are much more powerful than them of an average human, and so on. Your archer is able to generate flaming arrows and what have you. Your beastmaster is able to link himself with animals, or your illusionist creates illusions of dragons and what have you. And in this world there is a magic level in the world itself. And the magic level was at one point 500 years ago so high that horrors from another dimension were passing through and were attacking this world. And in that time, the people in the world of Earthdawn, they fled. They fled to so-called cares. Those are dungeons, and they locked themselves up, like in Fallout, with the vaults. They locked themselves from the world, and they magically sealed that, and waited until the magic level in the world is low enough so that they can come out again from their cares, and re-emerge into the world. And these horrors in Germany, they are called demons. They terrorized the land and almost killed everybody that were inhabited in this world. They changed the world drastically, and in this world you're playing a character re-emerging into the world and rediscovering this wasteland, this destroyed landscapes, this destroyed ruins of cities, and also some destroyed cares. Some of the cares, this vaults where the people fled to, were destroyed, were infiltrated by demons and horrors, and there is in this world actually a reason for dungeons to be there. In Dungeons and Dragons, you have your dungeon, and there is no real reason why this dungeon is here, but here you have this reason. So let's call a little bit about the core stuff that you need to play this game. Actually, this book is all you need. The first edition rule book is, in my opinion, the best one out there. It has everything you need. You have your character creation in here. You have all your talents and magic spells and all your stuff your players can do. You have even monsters in here, like in newer publications like the Pathfinder rulebook or something like that. You have no monster at all, not a single one, for your game master to create the first game. You need modules, you need monster manuals, and even in the modules there are not the stats in there to play with the creatures. There's just a link. Okay, look at monster manual number 3, page 305. So you need, in Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons, you need several books to even start the basic game. And this is something that I highly dislike. I like a product like this one here, where you can just buy the main core rulebook and you can start to play. This is why I highly recommend this. Of course, this is the first edition. This is long out of production. But nowadays you can actually get a digital copy of this book from Drive-Thru RPG. I will provide a link down there in the video description. In English you can get the first, second and third edition rulebook as a digital copy, and they're quite cheap. And then you can start printing out your books like this here. Here I have a monster manual in a digital format. I have printed it 2 pages at one side, at one paper, and I've put them into little folders here, and so you have 4 pages at one thing. And it's quite nice, readable. And the good thing about the digital editions is you can read them at your computer, at your iPad or general pad, what you have. You can read them on your mobile devices like handies. You can print them out, and when you have printed them out, you don't need to have the whole binder at your gaming table. You just simply say before the game, okay, let's see, we are fighting today a Globberrock, and you take the whole page and zack, there you have, you put that into your adventure binder, and then after the game you re-put that back. There you go. That's the advantage of digital copies of the stuff. Other modules I have here is the Palinth expansion. I also have that as a digital copy. Palinth is a very nice setting. Also, another thing here for Earthdawn, you have your standard modules that you also have in Dungeons and Dragons, but you have also the so-called source books. Like here, for example, Palinth. Palinth is a city that was destroyed by demons. And here you get all the background information about the city, about the demons, about the treasures that you can find in here, and all sorts of stuff. It's a very, very interesting setting, and I highly recommend this. Another module I have, not a digital copy, but in the actual book from back in the day. This is the Barsaif campaign book. It comes also with 2 books inside. This is the handbook for your players, and you have a Game Master handbook. Here you have all nice information about the world itself, what your player characters might know about the world, and that gives your players a little bit more immersion into the game when they can read something like that. In the Game Master book, you have here additional creatures you can utilize, new treasures, new characters that you can put into your game and let them talk to your characters. Here you have ideas for adventures. And this is something I really like. In this books, there's often in the description for a creature, there is adventure ideas. Instead of having a standard module where you go from path 1 to path 2 to path 3, you have adventure ideas. You can let the players make their own adventure. You give them a magic item, and instead of just, okay, I flip the switch on and the magic item works, in this game you need key informations to use this magic item. For example, you need the name of the last owner of this item, or the name of the person who created this item, or you need to know the heroic deed that Barloff the troll, who last owned this axe, did with this axe. And so by simply giving the players a magic item, you can create an adventure on its own. And here we have another nice item to have for your Earthdawn experience. This is the Compendium. This is a book that describes character leveling up above the level 8. In Dungeons and Dragons you have a maximum level of 20. Here you have a maximum level of 8 in your core rulebook, and you can level them up until level 14. And level 14 in Earthdawn, those characters are almost gods. They are so super powerful, there's almost nothing that can stop them. Maybe a dragon, but yeah. This book describes new characters here for your Game Master also, again, creating your own disciplines, ship combat, light carriers, questors, new spells and abilities for your characters, new magic items that you can buy in towns, or you can give them such magic items in your stories, in your dungeons. So this is also a book that I would highly recommend if you have played Earthdawn a little while and your characters are close to maxing their stats, and so then you should use this one. But overall, I think Earthdawn is by far the best role-playing game out there. Like I said, it is right now in the 4th edition. This here is the 1st edition in German. The English one looks a little bit different, but it has the same contents. And I highly recommend this to at least check it out. So, in the next video, I will talk to you about world creation for your own game. Maybe you don't like this scenario and you want to create your own world, and so we talk about world creation. Like this here, for example. Last week I run a game, Earthdawn, in a completely different landscape, and this was my map I have drawn, and let's talk about that in the next video. I hope you liked this one, and we see us in the next video. You're Alexandra.